Okay, yep, we're live.
Outstanding.
Yes. Welcome to the Green Dragon.
Yeah.
13th of May.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
So good.
I've been really looking forward to it, actually.
It's been a week this week.
Yeah.
I can't wait for a drink, a smoke, and some chewing the fat.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
Do you
that
want some
sounds good. Oh, thought you never asked. Thank you. God bless you. Thanks for all the comments and stuff from last time.
Yeah,
it was good. We had a really good buzz. You know, we got put a few guys on. It was a good giggle last time.
I enjoyed the last one.
Yeah,
really good. Yeah. So we've got a couple of blends to review.
Yeah.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
The haul came in.
Yes.
The boat came in.
Yeah, it did. It did that. We've got Matt's in. Hey Matt. We're gonna get to your question, by the way, Matt. We're gonna get to it. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by, man. We're going to talk about a little review of a chapter of a book that I've been reading that might be of interest to you guys. 2 blends to review. Any questions you guys have got? Anything you want to? We're open to suggestions, topics.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's kick it off. So we're going to start off reviewing a blend that I have been looking forward to for a long time.
This has been on the kill list, hasn't it? It's been on the Kill Bill list.
Yes.
Top of the list.
And it is Samoa.
Not semi.
Not semi. I haven't got a semi, lad. It's Samoa, mon Dieu. Reserve du Patron. Reserve du Patron.
It's the boss's private stash.
Reserve.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, Samoa is a particular kind of burley that's grown only in Belgium.
Ardennes?
Yeah, it says the Ardennes Valley, which I thought was France, but you said
right on the border.
It's on the border, so probably
yeah.
So it's a really unique kind of tobacco. It's not cased with anything at all.
So what's the base?
It's just burley. The thing is, strictly speaking, I don't think it's really a blend.
Right.
You know, it's just...
It just is burley.
Yeah, and if you remember, it was George talking to us last time.
Yes.
And he was saying how it was like, you know, French army rations, like basically.
Yeah.
To back the troop.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to load it up and we're going to see what it's like. Highland Duncan says, evening guys, evening brother.
Duncan.
Thank you for joining in.
Bro, show that to the camera. I've never seen Baki.
Yeah.
What is that?
It reminds me of, you know, like the soft shell cigarette packets that you used to see in like old films.
Yes.
Yeah. They would like scrunch up.
It's quite amazing. Like beautiful gold wrapping.
Yeah.
Proper brick.
Lovely, like little kind of like artwork.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that on the pack.
Show Marco Pierre White on the
Marco Pierre White on the other side.
He's put his North stock cubes away and he's packing a ball.
He's not a professional chef anymore. He's a home cook.
He's a home cook. Loves a smoke.
Who is PRA? Cheers, guys. Buffalo Trace and Cajun Cake. What an afternoon! Afternoon here, 3 p.m. in North Carolina.
Bro.
Thank you for stopping by, brother. You're absolutely right. Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
One of my favourites.
It's that kind of a night.
Yeah.
It's been that kind of a week.
Cajun Cake, I must admit, I've smoked 2 bowls of it already. It's going to be new for Dion.
Yeah.
But we're going to kick it off with this Samoa.
Let's do it.
What are you smoking, Matt? Let us know.
Pipe, bro.
What
got tonight?
I'm smoking tonight the Savinelli Oscar Brown Blast Prince, which is the 315 shape. And what about you, brother?
I have brought my bit of Northampton's finest engineering. I've gone for my Falcon Shillelagh stem, and
I love those.
I've got my because the thing I love about this is like especially with blends that I don't know ever so well. If it's a ghoster, it doesn't matter.
Good point.
And also I know that my cadence is going to be a little bit out of whack tonight because I'm going to be puffing away like a chimney. So I've gone for the Bulldog, which started out very pale, like kind of.
Yeah.
Pine looking, but it's darkened up quite nicely.
Yeah.
It's just a workhorse. Love it. I have brought my good old my other bit of English engineering actually. My Blakemore.
Blakemore, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Malvern.
So the first thing you notice when you start to pack this is I thought it straight away, and Dion said it too. Is it's dry, dry, like tea dry.
Yeah. It looks like like the packs of tea.
Yeah. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
And the advice that I've heard about this, because it is so dry, is you want to pack it tightly.
Right.
and sip from it really slowly.
Got you. Hot burner?
Well, it's burley, so I think you're gonna get
True.
a certain amount of grace with that.
Yeah.
But there's no more. It's crisp dry.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's good coffee, though.
Thank you, dude. Yeah, Colombian.
God love him.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody's weekend's going all right so far.
Yeah, tell us about it, brothers. Tell us about your week. Tell us about your week. Tell us about your weekend. How's it been going? What you've been smoking? Any questions? So yeah, that's nice and tight at that.
So just while I'm packing this, so I've been testing out that stuff method that we were using for the cabbies, and I was really skeptical, man. I was really, really skeptical. I didn't think it was going to work at all. I think I was going to end up having to just completely repack.
Yeah.
I was amazed at how well it smoked.
Yeah.
From that, using that method.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really into that cabbies mixture that I picked up from Covent Garden.
It's beautiful, yeah. And you gave me a ton of it really generously. I
No,
enjoyed
that's
it. Duncan says, got a bowl of Eric Stockaby 1882 in his new Falcon Shillelagh. He's got something very nice. I haven't tried the 1882. I tried I think it's 1943, which I mentioned, I think last time. It's a burley blend, like a sweet casing. That I really enjoyed that. Tell us about the 1882, Duncan. What's that? Is it like, is it in English or something? Matt says, smoking Solani aged burley 656. It is lovely.
Yeah.
Brother, I will say, that is the second blend that I ever bought after Balkan mixture, and it absolutely kicked my arse. And I gave it to Dion, actually.
Yeah.
I gave it to Dion.
And one absolute heathen just blasted it.
Yeah, just smoked through it.
Blazed it.
And like, it didn't touch him. So,
Yeah.
But it's one that I'd actually like to go back to.
Let's revisit. Now we've got the tolerance up.
So who is PRA says, with the Falcon, do you just wipe the metal off and switch balls and then exactly that.
And there's like a little ring. The cleverness about it is there's like a little inside the humidome. There's like a little ring. Like it's effectively like pipe cleaner in it. That absorbs, draws out all the moisture, so none of it goes up the stem. It's just an absolute delight to smoke.
Yeah. So PRA, if you're not using the dry rings, you can just make them. Wrap a pencil cleaner. Wrap a pipe cleaner around a pencil.
Yeah.
And then snip it off or twist it off. And then put that in.
I just use the end of my tamper,
and that works just as well. That's basically what it is. And I do recommend that you use them, because if not, a lot of moisture collects in there and bubbles. So
that's kind of the design, and that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
That's what it's there to do.
Bro, let's do this.
A couple of dry takes. Thanks, bro. Yeah.
So we'll line up the Samoa Tabac de Manil
There we go.
Reserve du Patron.
Oh yeah. Nuts. Nutty welly.
Yeah, so the first thing you get,
Nuts.
it's a nut bomb.
Yeah.
It's like a squirrel blended in.
Yeah.
What? So it's kind of like hazelnut praline, like Nutella.
Yeah.
But without the sweetness and with a bit of a bitter note, but not unpleasant. And
Like dark chocolate.
yeah, dark cocoa.
Yeah.
And it's also got a hint of that cigar leaf perfume.
Yeah.
But super earthy.
Oh yeah.
It's got that earth note.
I don't know if that's the dryness to it, but that's great. I can see where this is the tobacco troupe.
Yeah,
You know, it's just like workhorse
exactly, yeah.
tobacco,
I mean,
but great.
it's not cased, it's nothing fancy, it's simple tobacco.
It doesn't strike me as kind of French or Belgian kind of flavours.
Yeah.
Does it you?
I know what you mean.
Great with the coffee.
Beautiful with the
Great
coffee.
with the coffee.
It goes absolutely lovely with the coffee. We got a lot of comments already. So Matt says on the hunt for a new pipe but can't decide. That is a good question because there isn't there a little bit of cloth at the bottom? Not cloth, but it's basically a ring of pipe cleaner.
Yeah.
Duncan says that's what I'm hoping, a small ring of pipe cleaner in the base.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, man.
Give it a treat.
Matt says he finds it so smooth and lovely, dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Run through one flake per session. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the flavour. I really did.
Yeah.
Just that it was so strong.
It was, yeah.
Kicked like a mule.
Yeah. Big Nick hit.
Yeah. And this...
See, I don't think this doesn't come across as a big Nick.
No. I think it's something that you could smoke a few bowls over there.
Yeah.
But after a nice meal, when the coffee comes out, got chocolate, nutty chocolate.
Do you know what else I want to say as well? I think this would be a good blender.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a little bit of latakia stashed away, or you've got a bit of Perique or something.
I think
nice.
I could see Perique with it. I could also see it with maybe a sweet casing.
Yeah.
But
or something to thicken up like a bit of an aromatic.
Yeah.
Like a nougat or something like that.
Yeah, good point. But there is something really like endearing about the simplicity of it.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the rustic kind of nature of it. It really does feel like you can just imagine like a French paysan just finished like tending the vines or something, and he's sitting down with his pipe.
Straight off to the tobacco.
Yeah. Mad Piper's joined the chat. Thank you, Mad Piper. Hi everyone, GH Dark Flake.
Great to have you with us.
Yeah, that's a
nice
blend. That is a strong one too.
It's a hardcore flake.
I like it in a cob actually, but that's one you got to take.
Yeah, watch yourself with that.
Yeah, you got to go slowly with that. Like I said last time, ghosted my cob for a couple of smokes. But I do enjoy that one. Got the dark fired leaf. Really like dark chocolatey kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. I think it's got. See, I've not been on anywhere near as much of a burley charge up until lately, when I picked up the 3Ps.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been like, oh, I love that burley in there.
Yeah.
Love that burley. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm liking it.
The good thing about this though is, I think if you're a man who enjoys a cigar, this could kind of scratch the itch. Do you know what I mean? For like a fraction of the price.
Yeah. Right.
So, I think since Matt's in the chat, it's probably a good time to get to his question.
Yeah.
So, on the community post, Matt mentioned what do you do about taking pipes out and about, because obviously it's really nice to enjoy pipe at home, but also nice, there's times you're going to want to take it out when you go to the pub.
Yeah.
When you go camping.
Yeah.
We're planning a trip. We want to get out soon. So, what's the deal with that? Do you want to start?
Yeah, kind of. So first of all, I think it depends on whereabouts you live. I think generally, like we're not blessed with weather here, are we? But we have that said, we've got a really nice night tonight. It's really, really cool.
It's actually a gorgeous day today.
Yeah. We're in. You'll have to excuse me for the Fahrenheit, but like probably like mid 70s, something like that.
Which probably sounds like Arctic.
But it's like early 20s here, and it's just great. So yeah, we've got we're quite unlucky with the weather sometimes. Tends to be quite damp, which isn't always particularly great for smoking a pipe with. But we've got plenty of places. Although we've got the smoking ban on, we have got places like pubs are pretty canny to it now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And they'll have like smoking shelters, and like I'm just thinking the my local at Maggie's and the little shelter that they've got on the front, and that's really nice. So I think you can for most places, if you're going out to the pub, you'll find most of them will have a smoking shelter, or just go and get yourself inside if you've got no smoking ban. One of the difficulties that I do find though, bro, is when it's windy. That's a bit of a drag. Yeah,
windy's always a challenge, because even if you can get it, let's say you've got a Zippo which are good in the wind and you can get it lit, the wind will smoke the pipe for you.
Right.
And it's going to make it burn hot.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy a fraction of the tobacco.
Right.
So the wind is a tough one, and it's hard to combat that unless you have some kind of shelter that you can be in. What,
you can get little inserts that will fit in.
Wind caps.
Yeah. I'm kind of ambivalent because how do you then relight it?
Right.
I think it causes as many problems as they solve, unless I'm just doing it wrong. So maybe some guys that's had some experience with using them, and then maybe you've got some tips on that. Like fire it into the comments. Let us know all about it.
Yeah.
But I just find it a bit of a pain. What I will say about smoking a pipe outside in windy conditions is this is great because it'll just takes all the damage out of it for you. You're not gonna get tongue bite. The worst that's gonna happen is it's just gonna smoke your backy really quick. But to get because I take this out fishing, it's normally pretty windy. It's normally it's not great conditions, and I've never had any trouble with that.
Yeah, well, I think that's the other thing to say, and that's certainly what I was going to say. Types of pipe that you would take out with you. First among them, a falcon.
Right.
Because they're a really sturdy aluminium stem. You're not going to break that. You can chuck it in your pocket, take the ball off, chuck it in your pocket, throw it in a rucksack or whatever, and you don't have to worry about it breaking. A briar, you might worry about the stem snapping or whatever, but...
Cobs are okay too.
Cob is the other one.
Because it doesn't really matter if the worst comes to the worst and you just wreck it. It's not going to break your back. You're not going to go and, you've only got to fork out a few dollars or a couple of quid to go and get a replacement.
Exactly, easily replaceable. The other great thing about a cob is that you can just chain smoke it, and you don't have to worry about any moisture. You don't even have to worry about running a pipe cleaner through it. If you just take it out for the day and you want to smoke 2 or 3 balls in a day, it's no big thing. Just clean it out when you get home. The other thing, like we said to PRA with the Falcon, is that you take the stem and maybe 2 balls. And the great thing about a Falcon bowl is that it doesn't really have a draft hole. The hole is right at the bottom, so no moisture really collects in the bowl. So to be honest, even if you took only 1 bowl, as long as you swab out the humidome at the bottom, really good to go again.
You ain't got to worry about resting it. Just I normally take 2. I've got this one and I've got the one that little black. Is it a Prince ball? I can't remember the one that it comes with now.
It's Algiers.
Algiers, just swap them out, and then I've got the other one, the Acorn. If the billiard, if I'm smoking Condor, but then you ain't got to worry about it. Just swap it out.
So I think if you're taking a pipe out and about, Falcon is a great choice if you can get a hold of them. I know there are supply issues in America. I don't know what it's like in Europe.
Right.
Yeah, I think they have a tough time. A lot of Americans go to like GQ and stuff.
I wonder if we can help.
Yeah, absolutely. And a cob. Because you can chain smoke it, and if it does break, it's not the end of the world. It's cheap to replace. So they're 2 pipes, Matt, that I would say you could take out if you were interested in taking a pipe out and about. The other thing to say is, going back to the weather, I do find that the colder seasons lend itself a bit more to pipe smoking on the go, because you wear a coat that has a lot of pockets.
That's true.
If you want to take a briar, you can take pipe cleaners. You've got a pocket for your tamper, matches, a lighter and stuff. When it's the summer and it's warmer, you want to wear less layers.
Cigar weather, innit?
It feels more like cigar weather, and you've got less room to put your accessories. Because pipe smoking is quite an accessory laden activity.
That's a fair shout.
So
I remember smoking that bowl at Maggie Mays and the snow was coming down, and it was amazing. It was really good.
But what I did, Matt, is I went into a local B&M and I asked for a tin, and they just chucked me a free empty tin. And you can stuff like a few balls of blend in that. You probably fit your tamper in it too. And maybe even probably not a pipe cleaner, probably not long enough, but you can just stuff that in your back pocket or whatever. The rectangular ones are good for that. You can take that out and about.
See, I typically tend to take mine in the very handy little pouch that Peterson send with their pipes. I've had this since it was my first briar, that Peterson Aaron, and it's just coming handy. So I keep saying I am going to make a leather equivalent because it's just the right size. I can get my lighter in there, I can get my tamper in there, I can get some pipe cleaners in there, I can get a stand in there, although I've not brought it tonight, and a briar, a decent sized briar, and it just holds the lot really snug.
So that's, I think, what we'd say, Matt, if you're going out and about. So
and something to keep you want to keep your backy in good condition, because that's where it's going to take.
Of course, PRA says probably go for a bowl of Redburn later this evening in a straight billiard basket pipe.
Right.
I love a good basket pipe. Many times in the past, I've like bought a pipe and I've said, this is going to be my cheap knock-around pipe, and then I fall in love with it and I get emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
Smoke's good for a cheap pipe. What can you tell us about Redburn PRA? Because I know you mentioned it last time and I'm not familiar with it. Matt says the wind caps flip up.
Yeah.
I think I don't actually use them. I had wind hit me and I accidentally choked on the smoke. Yeah. That happens like a throat full of doll.
Yeah.
Look who's in the chat. Who PRA says similarly smoking in the car truck is a touchy thing. Yesterday I got a touch of tongue bite because too much air on the pipe. Yes, try the caps. I like a smoke in the car.
Yeah. You just normally chuck a couple in there, don't you?
Yeah, I keep a cob in the car and some pipe cleaners and a pouch of baccy.
Yeah.
I kind of like hotbox myself. We got a guy in the chat.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
Beautiful guy.
Wonderful guy.
You're gonna love him.
Son smokes a pipe. He smokes a pipe. He really does.
And what you want to know is he doesn't come from China.
We got Jonathan in the chat.
All right.
Many years to Jonathan, who's recently married. Congratulations on many years, brother.
Got ball and chain, Danny.
Yeah. And just back from Crete.
Right.
Yeah. So thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
This is the man whose son we've been talking about,
Yeah.
who's is into his cigars. Had a bit of trouble with his pipe, but don't set him straight on it. Yeah.
Don't we all?
So me and Dion, for some reason this weekend, have just started like sending each other voice notes of like Trump impressions.
Great guy.
Wonderful guy. Tremendous guy.
Yeah, wonderful. You're gonna love him.
He always looks like he's tuning into radios. He's a tremendous guy.
Oh man, we love him. We absolutely love him. Complete gold.
Matt says got the Savinelli pipe bag. Yeah, Savinelli do a nice pipe bag. I do like the Petersons though. I feel like they're a little bit fancier.
Yeah. I'll make us one. I keep saying it.
Yeah.
Summer project.
That'd be good.
I'll get some nice cabretta leather and we'll...
a bit of leather work in, that'd be nice.
Marron.
Smell of leather.
Yeah.
Jonathan says more. What can we say? It's a beautiful blend. It's a
great
really
blend.
great blend.
Beautiful.
Tremendous
Best blend. He's really smart, by the way. Smart guy. Very smart. Got the words. Very good words.
Comes all the way from Belgium. It's kind of like France.
Looks like semi. It's not a semi.
Right. So yeah. I hope that answers your question, Matt.
We took a slight Trump detour there, but
yeah, we took. I've just been doing it all week, though, like practicing. Like his mouth forms like a kind of square when he talks. Like everything comes out like a square.
That CNN town hall thing.
Oh god,
absolute masterclass.
Just a laugh
funny.
at it.
Yeah.
But right. So what I thought we'd do is we could move on to the chapter review of the book that I've been kind of like flicking through, and it's called A Guy's Guide to Being a Man's Man, and it's by Frank Vincent. Big Frank.
What a lad.
Who you may know as Phil Leotardo.
Yeah. Billy Bats. Frankie Carlotta. Billy Bats out of Casino.
Yeah.
Frank Carlotta in Goodfellas. And, oh man, just what a lad. What an absolute lad.
Had the hairline of a teenager until the day he died.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Insanely jealous.
Yeah. So, he's got a few different chapters on the book. The first one is about dating. Now, could be a spicy subject.
Spice.
I've read through this.
Hot for YouTube.
Could be. I've read through this recently, and I want to hear what your thoughts on it. I do think. I think this book was written in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it's quite old now. Okay. It's like 20 years now.
And my thoughts might be, it's a little bit dated. Well, basically, it starts off with saying that a man's man has no problem meeting women, and basically a man's man is outgoing.
Yeah.
He's doing things all the time, putting himself in a position to meet women.
Yeah.
He's outgoing. He's not spending the night in his garage smoking a cigar.
Rock roll.
So straight off the bat there.
We'll leave it there, shall we?
Yeah. But what he goes on to say is that, like, a man's man is spontaneous.
Right.
Which is something I struggle with. I struggle with spontaneity because you could say that I'm artistic with a soft R. And I'm very routine focused. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
But
the older I get, the more routine focused. Because the kids are just so like unruly. If we don't have a routine, everything's about routine. It's like they've got to be. It's like get them up at the regular time, get them dressed at the regular time, get them breakfasted, fed.
Exactly.
At the regular time. Because if you don't, it just goes to crap.
Goes to hell. Yeah, and the kids need it too. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this book is written for with fathers in mind.
I hope I get more out of his cigar chapter.
Yeah. So we'll do that another time.
Yeah.
But he says that there are ways that you can spot a man's man right off the bat. If you go clubbing on a Friday night and you're home before 2 a.m, you're not a man's man.
Yeah.
If you're home at 4 a.m, but without a woman, you're still not a man's man. If it's Saturday night and you're sitting on the couch watching Showtime in your boxers, then you're not a man's man. But if it's Saturday night and you're doing the same thing and she's wearing your boxers, then you are a man's man.
Right. I think Frankie sets a high bar. That's all I'm saying.
I think he's set a high bar for sure.
I think it's different. It's different rules for celebs, and
Yeah.
I also think that like dating rules have changed a hell of a lot since the advent of dating apps.
Well, that's my point. I mean,
and e-girls,
right?
And a certain website where one may or may not pay for photos and video content, which may or may not be a bit spicy.
Orangutans. That's right.
Yeah.
So that has changed the scene a lot, and I think that this was written before all that kicked off.
Yeah.
And Frank Vincent. He's this kind of guy that comes from it all the time.
Yeah.
And but that this thing about spontaneity, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
I could be more spontaneous. I'll take the L on that one. I think. Can I trouble you for another cup?
Absolutely,
of coffee, bro. Thank you.
Just the thing about breaking up a routine with a woman is I think it can be really helpful. This is a little story that I've got, but one time I was on a date with a girl. I was really into her. Thought she was super cute, and I'm a big jazz fan, as you know.
Yeah.
And there's a place in Sheffield, jazz every Wednesday night. The Cigar. Great venue, by the way. Jazz at Cigar Wednesdays in Sheffield. And I thought, this is going to be so cool. I'm going to take her there. We're going to listen to some jazz. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be classy. So I took her there, and we sat down. And I was like, oh my god, this was the worst idea possible. Because now we're sat down, we can't talk because music's playing.
Yeah.
This is just awful. This is going to be like an hour plus of just absolute nothing. So I just threw convention to the wind. I grabbed her hand, picked her up, and took her rock climbing.
That's spontaneity.
Yeah, so that was one time that I was spontaneous. And you know what? It went well.
It worked. There you go.
So so
Frankie's on the point with that one, I think.
Yeah, I think, and to quote Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun. They really do.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
A lot of fun.
Great fun. Beautiful fun.
Don't worry, the whole cast is not going to be this.
I'll shut up.
Matt says, I love the Trump stuff, cracks me up. Thank you, bro. We've been having a lot of fun with it. We're having a lot of fun. Albert says, hi fellas, happy to make a live. Cheers from Seattle. Wow, cheers from Seattle, dude. Both looking quite smart. Thank you, dude.
Thanks. I did say before I came out that I did look like a yeti,
yeah.
and I saw Harry looking quite dapper and quite tatey today.
Yeah.
So I don't want to drag I will put a shirt on today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought I should make up for last cast where I was wearing like a sports bra.
And drank a can of Bud Light. Can you still say that? Anyway, but you didn't have your Hobbit feet out, so there was always
no. Yeah, I got called out on. If you guys have seen some of the older videos where I did blend reviews, which I'm actually hoping to start doing again, and we're hoping to use the old format, but including the two of us. Yeah, so there's an old review that I did on Body Flake, and I like to walk around in my bare feet a lot. I do. I don't like wearing socks.
It's good for your feet, apparently.
Yeah. I don't like wearing shoes. I do it because I have to. But I was... Like, my format for the videos is that, you know, like, I'm doing something kind of while I'm smoking a pipe, and it's a little bit more interesting to watch. And it was a nice day. It was last summer, and I was playing darts outside, and then I sit down and I cross my legs, and my disgusting blackened soul is like forefront in the camera. And as I was editing it, I was like, oh, my disgusting foot is front and center, and I'm like, I'm not redoing it. I'm just gonna put it up.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino outtake.
Yeah.
Frodo.
Yeah, and it's been up for like a year, and no one mentioned it until this guy. He called me out for it. He was like, "Oh, no more dirty man souls," and I was like, "Yeah, sorry about that."
Well, he looked at it.
Yeah, you were looking at my souls, bro. Saw those pictures for money.
Yeah. Oh.
Matt says, I think routines don't really work for the average working person because work is unpredictable, always finishing random times, and general life gets in the way. Well, that's true. You know, life gets in the way, and depending on the kind of job that you are working, yeah, things can be erratic. But like if you've got kids, you've got to try and keep routine as much as you possibly can. Because they will go off the rails. Yeah. They're looking for routine change. Yeah.
They're like, you know, remember the Velociraptors on Jurassic Park? Like, oh, they're testing for weaknesses in the fence. That's what it feels like at the minute.
Okay. So moving on.
What else does Frankie say?
He says that
there's got to be more to it than just than breaking routine, Frankie.
Yeah. So spontaneity. Yeah. Putting yourself out there. So he says that a single man's lifestyle, for a woman to be turned on by a guy, she has to be kept on her toes. A man's mind continually does that. He doesn't give away too much too quickly. He makes sure he leaves some mystery about himself. Women want more mystery than Nancy Drew. And he says, nice guys finish dead last. It's an old cliche, but it's definitely applicable. Yeah, he's right. If you're too nice, she'll walk over you like a tremor.
Yeah, can't lie.
I think mystery is a good tool. Yeah. Always say less than is necessary.
Right.
Because that's half the fun of meeting somebody new.
Yeah.
You know, like
you tick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, can you imagine if like you were on a date and you just laid out your life story and like what you do every day, and that's not fun,
bro.
That's not exciting.
Can you imagine? They'd run a mile.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So say less. You know, be laconic. Yeah. So the word laconic comes from the word Lacedaemonian, which is a Spartan word for Spartans.
Right.
And they were actually, one of the things they were trained in is laconic speech, meaning say less. Yeah, say less.
Taciturn.
Yeah. So like the classic example is the Persians are like, lay down your weapons and then come and get them.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a great story where I don't know if it was the Persians, but they send a letter to the Spartan king. It's an invading army. They're like, if we are forced to fight you, we will trash your city, we'll enslave your people, all this, all that, making all these threats. And he got a one word reply. If. If. Right?
If.
So, laconic speech, right? Every cool guy in popular culture that you can think of is a laconic speaker. You think of like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. All I can think is Steve Buscemi, but he gets killed in everything he's in. So.
Yeah. So I think an air of mystery, a little bit laconic speech, giving the gift of your absence.
That's a good shout. And also, I'm just thinking that like, if you really can't think of anything to say, what it does is like it buys you some time to come up with to come up with some stuff.
Exactly. And you buying yourself time could create an air of mystery that is appealing. Yes.
Bro, I want to say this is a really fast burner. Like that's gone. That was a full on bowl.
Yeah.
That's just ash.
The Samoa is a fast burner. It's not the kind of smoke that you're going to be sat there for an hour plus with.
Right.
But the other advantage is that it burns straight down to the bowl.
Yeah.
It turns into white ash. Matt says that's true. My son is always testing. Yeah, it's what they do, man. It's what they do.
Yeah.
And they're really craving for you to put the boundaries in place.
Yeah.
Now it's bedtime.
Are we talking about women now? We're talking about kids. Sorry. Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Jonathan, another Jonathan is in the chat. Love the chats, lads. Sitting with my straight billiard with Yachtsman's Navy plug.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
What's that?
Yeah, what is that, man? Tell us about that. Life is good. Love all the same stuff as you guys. If you live near me in Ireland, I'd definitely be hanging out with you. Yeah, man. Ireland.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Well,
Cropped up in conversation earlier, actually. But I'm quite up for a bit of a trek. I don't think I've never been.
I've never been to Ireland.
Yeah.
No.
You can red pill me on some Guinness. I heard, apparently, well, maybe John can put me right on this, but I heard that Guinness doesn't travel well.
Okay.
I heard that it's much better in Ireland than it is anywhere else.
I can see that. Yeah.
Bro, I'm going down the Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. Crack it.
Pour you one out.
Yeah. So, but I think since Jonathan mentioned that, I think something that we have been thinking about is maybe like a meetup somewhere sometime.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if we could organise something. We all bring the pipes.
Film it, stream it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a great idea. So to continue, so now he's talking about bad boys. So the bad boy archetype.
Yeah.
So he says that this is funny. Bad boys are not guys who trash hotel rooms. In fact, bad boys are classy and even refined. So he's saying even if you come from money and you're like a very like classy kind of background, you can still be a bad boy. So he mentions Bruce Willis.
Is Bruce Willis a bad boy? Yeah, maybe.
I think he definitely was.
Yeah.
And he mentions working on a film with him. And
salute, by the way, brother.
Yeah, I salute. And they were at a hotel casino, and Bruce was appearing with his band, and he asked him to sit on the drums, and he had a blast. Bruce is a bad boy.
He was a drummer.
To him.
Yes,
yeah.
Frank Vincent. So him and Joe Pesci were a double act.
No.
Yeah, both of them were like they were like entertainers, but he's a musician, man. Was a musician, yeah.
Yeah, memory too. Yeah. So very very laid back, very sure of himself. Robert De Niro the same. He said, and then he lists Vincent's list of infamous bad boys.
Go on.
And yes,
go on.
There's one that is not listed last, but I'm going to leave him till last.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah.
He's got that crazy vibe.
Definitely.
He's got that crazy kind of.
Yeah. He was pulling chicks like well into his like.
Oh
60s.
yeah. No doubt. Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary. Do you know who's Dennis Leary?
Yeah, comedian.
Okay.
Yeah. He was Edgar Friendly in Demolition Man.
I haven't seen that. Schwarzenegger.
Oh man, yeah. No, it's Sylvester Stallone.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I thinking of Running Man?
You're thinking of Running Man.
Yeah. Colin Farrell. Yeah, he's got that bad boy thing going on.
Yeah.
Irishman.
Irish, yeah.
De Niro, yeah. Aerosmith, brackets the whole band.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler. Liv Tyler's dad.
Right.
But she was raised by Steve Rundgren. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No.
The guy who... we can play this game.
Yeah.
James Gandolfini.
Oh.
Memory Turner.
King.
Ray Liotta, yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp?
Yeah, kind of. I put that the Amber Heard thing maybe put a whole spin on that.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
She did kind of ruin it a little bit, but maybe.
I guess he did have a bad boy.
He had a bad,
off screen.
Yeah.
He's always like smoking Golden Virginias and roll-ups and yeah. I get that. Russell Crowe.
Maybe. I like Russell though. I like something like he doesn't take any crap and he's a massive Leeds fan. So
is that right?
Yeah.
And the last one, Andy Dick. In brackets, just making sure you're awake. Yeah. So the one that it was on there, but I didn't mention him. I'll leave him until now. The wonderful guy,
great guy,
tremendous guy.
You're gonna love him.
Donald Trump. Yeah, he's got that bad boy kind of vibe. So he ends this section by saying that, you know, even with the man's man, the bad boy archetype, the spontaneity and the mystery, he says that a man's man isn't afraid to fall in love with the right woman.
Okay.
You know,
just go steady, boys. Is all I say.
Just be very careful on that. We're both Christians.
Yeah,
we believe in the sanctity and the mystery of marriage, the holy mystery of marriage.
It's a martyrdom, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what
it's
it
a
is.
martyrdom.
Yeah,
it comes with a whole host of baggage, but it's good. It's good.
But yeah, I think that, you know, like, I think that being in love is it's a peak human experience. You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Got to be careful who you.
There's pitfalls.
Yeah,
there's pitfalls.
So he says in every relationship there's going to be some compromise. But remember not to compromise yourself in the process of dating. Don't be afraid to make changes in yourself, but it should be gradually, a step at a time.
That's weapons grade advice.
Yeah, but as you're making these changes, do not lose your own identity.
Right.
You have to be who you are, and you have to remember to show your lady that you have a life of your own.
Yeah.
Confidence and self-assurance are what women are attracted to, not some phony schmuck.
Simp.
Yeah.
Basically.
I think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, I don't want to use any terms, but let's say a lot of RP dating advice is kind of like on a fake it till you make it kind of basis, which, but in the end, it's like a foundation on sand kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do think that you really have to stay true to who you are, and but yeah, you cannot let yourself get erased.
Yeah.
In the process.
Totally.
You have to have a sense of who you are. And I don't think that this is not strictly related to romantic relationships, but to relationships in general. You have to have boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Which you enforce.
And start as you mean to go on.
Yeah.
I think for me, you know, like I've been with my missus for what? It'll be 23 years coming up in September. Married for 5. And yeah, I'd definitely say that. Like, and there's peaks and troughs, there's good times, there's bad times.
Of course.
But yeah, I think that definitely about like setting those boundaries and enforcing maybe a strong word. Defending those boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, getting the squad on the wall.
Yeah.
And making sure that you know, any incursions are quickly looked after.
Yeah.
That sounds good, man. Well, I'm quite interested to hear the rest of the book, so hopefully we can move into the cigar chapter and the casino chapter.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, bro, I can't stop looking at the
Cajun cake.
Cajun cake. So shall we?
Yeah, you crack it open, man, and you start packing. I'll take a look at these. Matt says, "Do you guys have the pipe insert on your Zippo?" Dion does.
Yes.
And I don't.
Yes.
So
that's the pipe insert. It will sort of work vertically a little bit, but that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
And they are good.
And I often end up borrowing it.
Yeah, you picked one up then.
I haven't picked up the pipe insert yet.
Oh, did you? Oh,
No,
okay.
I am meaning to. I think I'm going to get one. But I will say, Matt, the regular insert, you know, is fine. But I will say that I do end up borrowing Dion's sometimes, quite a bit.
I'm going to show this up to the camera. So that's not like any kind of backy I have ever bought before.
Yeah, we don't see this in the UK.
It's a bit like the plug, but spongy. It's a little bit like the 3Ps, you know, the perfect plug, but it's not plug and it's not flake. It's shag cut, but it's just really well packed.
Yeah.
So we were doing it, just pulling a bit off.
Yeah, so it's called Crumble cake,
Crumble cake.
You guys in the States probably more familiar with that.
Yeah.
You just break off however much
Enough?
you want. I think it's enough. Yeah, there's more than you think.
Okay.
Then you rub it out.
Let's go with some. Let's put a bit back in.
And then you. No, put that back. You need it. Just I'll have whatever you do. Because I'm gonna pack
Stick
up.
some in there.
Yeah.
Fragrances straight off the bat. Oh man, fruity, fruit cake.
Yeah, a lot of fruitcake, spice,
Yeah.
earth as well.
See, I thought it got the base note of Condor. You know, that really sort of fruity, dark.
It is kind of reminiscent of Condor.
Yeah. But with that sweeter edge though.
Yeah.
Sweeter top.
Duncan says, I use one in my Zippo and it's best for me. Yeah, I think the pipe inserts are good, and I
swear by them.
I'm planning to get one. Jonathan says, I went for weeks without shoes in Australia in the early 2000s. The soles of my feet went totally black. Yeah, I think it's good, man. I love to be barefoot, and I love to go out and about barefoot. I like to run barefoot. I did have a pair of, still got a pair of actually Vibrance 5 Fingers, which are like very minimalist running shoes with separate toes and everything. Yeah. And it gets lugs, but I love to run in those.
I've seen those 5.0 barefoot shoes as well, like thin soles and stuff, and wider things to allow your feet to sort of feel like. Do keep kind of looking, thinking, oh, maybe.
Do you know what, man? If you look, you can find this picture on Google if it's something you're interested in. But you can look at the sole of a person who's worn shoes in childhood, and then like these, I think it was like a hunter-gatherer tribe from somewhere that have never worn shoes, and their sole and toes are so like splayed out, whereas ours are like scrunched up.
See, I've seen this thing where I think this chick had got like dexterity.
Okay.
She's able to like move her toes like independently. So she's like never ever wet. Not looking at, I'm looking at like women's feet and stuff. But, like, not in a weird way. That's not weird.
Nothing weird.
Nothing weird. I'm not being weird about it. But yeah, it's like got this got dexterity. I don't know what pedexterity. I don't know, whatever it is like for the foot equivalent. But yeah, she said like never wears like regular shoes. I just thought that was really cool.
There is this people in Mexico who just never wear shoes, and they just like run for like hours and hours at a time.
Yeah, that scams.
Yeah, and one of them won like the Mexico City Marathon, and you can see the picture. Like there's like two women on either side, and they're like wearing like the Lycra and the Nikes and stuff, and she's just there in like a blouse and a skirt and no shoes, and she won it.
Even a dry take on that is really good.
It's really rich. Cajun cake, by the way, we're smoking now. Cornell and Dior Cajun cake.
Not a particularly easy blend to get hold of over here.
I'll take it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
No. Matt says, I haven't got a pipe insert yet, but definitely want one. Not sure if I would like the... he's got a Zippo. Not sure if we would like the pipe insert because of restriction when not using it for a pipe. Well, it depends, Matt. Because, I mean... Occasionally, like when the cameras go down, me and Dion turn into like Bukowski mode, and we start rolling. We start rolling spirits, and I've used it to light a cigarette. I can't see why you couldn't light a cigar with it.
You can.
Yeah. So I don't think it's I don't think it's too restrictive, Matt. PRA says, "All right, boys. First impressions." It's more like a plug than a crumble cake to me. Well, this is my first... I'm going to put the Samoa down. This is my first experience of any kind of crumble cake. So I don't have a lot to go on, PRA. But it's very like... It's quite dense, yeah, so it's a lot like a plug. It's got a moisture to it, but not like Gallop level moisture.
No, nowhere near. Like early impressions on that is what I expected.
Yeah.
It's got it tastes the way that it smells. I think it's definitely got the Condor base, but with like a nice like dark Cavendish, sweet dark Cavendish top.
Yeah, well that's the thing. So it is a vapor, but it's got the addition of black Cavendish.
Yeah.
And I think like what the Cavendish is doing really there is it's cooling the smoke.
Yeah.
And it's providing a lot of sweetness.
Yeah.
So for me, PRA. In the spirit of honesty, I have smoked 2 balls of this already. This is Dion's first ball.
Yeah,
but
good.
I absolutely love it, and I know you mentioned it on the last cast. I am really a big fan of it. As soon as I cracked the tin, and I had to go on the tin note, really rich and strong. For me, it's a lot like a fruit cake. So you get a lot of those dried, dark fruits.
Yeah.
But also with a little spice, a little pepper, which you expect from Peru.
That's the Cajun as well.
Exactly, yeah. But it's also got this note of like earthiness, and I said kind of like that smell in the forest in autumn when the leaves are on the ground and it's wet. Kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
But there is quite a prominent sweetness all the way through, which I don't find cloying or anything. I think it's really pleasant. It lights easily.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, it's straight up.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think that Perique gives it the certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little funk.
Yeah. Interesting room note as well.
Oh man, the room note is exceptional.
Yeah.
Little fun fact that I learned recently: the name Perique is a diminutive of Pierre.
Yeah.
Because it was first cultivated, as I read, by a French Canadian in exile. And he went to Louisiana.
Yeah.
Whose name was Pierre. So it's named for him. Cool little fact. So I'm gonna light this bad boy up. Definitely a different animal to the Samoa.
Oh, night and day.
Yeah.
Both good. Both good. I really enjoyed the Samoa.
I loved it, man, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that.
A surprise package.
Yeah.
I'll put that down to. I'll say this much. Good that you're lighting with a match because I think it actually lights really well with a match.
I've moved on to these long matches for lighting. I was always like a match guy.
For inside.
Yeah. Even outside, I was a purist. And then I saw the utility of the Zippo, and I really like the Zippo. But for lighting, when I'm indoors anyway, I do like these long matches.
But yeah, that's pretty much up straight away. Really easy to light. Great smoke. Great smoke. I can see why it's my first Cornella deal, and
Me too.
I think that's probably going to be the first of quite a few. Because I'm really impressed with that.
So
moisture is just right.
Yeah, I think the moisture is spot on. Yeah,
don't have to. I mean, I never dry now anyway, but it comes out, so I've not had to really rub it. Straight off the cake, break it up, pack it, light it. You're away.
Yeah,
it's not too fiddly. Love my triple P, but I'm finding that I have to really rub that.
You do. So it wants to stay together. But this, every puff is like a fresh jet of sweetness.
Yeah, very sweet. Without it being aromatic, openly aromatic. Although I think Arrow guys would love it.
Yeah, the main player is clearly the Perique.
It's the Perique.
Yeah. Matt says that the flame on the pipe insert comes up a lot higher. Didn't expect that. Yeah, so it is. You can, you're not restricted when you have that. So PRA says that the Redburn also has a crumble cake, which is much easier to handle, maybe because it is drier. Redburn description in the chat up above. Oh, sorry, man, did I miss that? Such a boomer. Yeah, so it's by Cindy, a burley forward blend, which is my thing.
Good.
Virginia's and Dark Fired Kentucky, which is burley.
Oh, yeah.
With a very light rum molasses topping.
Oh.
The topping rounds the edges. Bowl finishes mostly burley. That sounds great.
That might be the next one then.
Yeah.
Should we try that one next?
I think so, yeah.
I'll get that one.
That sounds really good, PRA. Another one that I've been looking at is Briar Fox. I don't know if you smoked that before, PRA. That seems to be I think that is the most popular one, the most sold one. Autumn Evening is something that I think could be up your street. It's one of the more popular aromatics.
Yeah. I'm probably due a nice aromatic actually. It's been a little while.
But yeah, PRA, I'm open to some suggestions for burleys. So I've been looking at the big and burley, the different burley flakes. I think there's 1 to 4. Pegasus, I've had my eye on. So, but Cornell and Deal is such a prolific blender, man.
Yeah.
If you go on, like the Cornell and Deal page, it's like 1 to 235. It's like so prolific, and they do these small batch blends that they do like once a year. So there's 8 State Burley, which a guy on one of our podcasts actually mentioned a while ago. There's the Beast, obviously, that Anthony's been smoking.
Yeah.
Anthony, by the way, wanted to make it. He's setting up his caravan. He's on a little vacation by the sounds of it. So God bless Anthony.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
Safe travels.
Yeah. Folklore is one that's been out. And it sounds like it's pretty much a mix of everything. So it's got some Perique in there, I think, and
the other thing that I'm gonna unveil tonight that I've not mentioned to you about yet, but is coming next week.
All right,
will be the Wilsons of Sharrow.
Oh,
which I said I was going to order. I have ordered.
Nice.
So I've gone for the Perfection, or whatever they call the Perfection now. Slightly aromatic, but has got rave reviews. So that's a really local blend for us because they're based like 12 miles down the road.
Yeah.
So so that's on its way. So we'll give that a try next time too.
Absolutely.
Great snuff.
Beautiful snuff. Beautiful snuff.
Beautiful snuff. Really
Tremendous
good.
snuff.
Great guys. You're gonna love them. Oh, SP. I mean, they're an old company as well. That's like 18th century.
Yeah.
They've been bang at it for 200 odd years. So yeah, that'll be a new one. Completely in the dark about what to expect with that. But if it's anything like their snuff, I'm expecting good things. I'm holding them to a high standard because it's Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yorkshire.
Well, James Morgan, who's normally in the chat, he recommended them. He said he was smoking them. So
yeah, let's give it a try.
Liam Walker says, "Have you gents decided on your desert island blend yet?" Oh,
do you know what? I'm kind of tending to 3Ps.
Yeah.
If I could, it's the one blend that I think like I could almost forsake any other if I'd got an everlasting stash of that.
Yeah.
And I know that it would keep really well. As long as it stops in the tin, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's really easy to look after, and it just smokes great, and it's just got that lovely burly hit. It's so good.
I think for me, Liam, although 3Ps is a strong contender, I'd probably have to say the Gareth Hogarth's best brown.
Yeah.
Gareth Hogarth's, not Samuel Gower's, because that's a straight Virginia.
Yeah.
The Gareth Hogarth's burley. It's one I always go back to, always enjoy it. So yeah, that's a really tough one.
Yeah.
But probably that for me. What about you, Liam? Everybody else, what about your desert island blends? PRA says he hasn't tried the Briar Fox, but it is popular. He has Autumn Evening in the cellar now. Eyeing Nye Slices by Eric Stockerby, 4th generation. We tried the 1943, really enjoyed that. So open to some more Eric Stockerby for sure. Yeah. Matt says, what do you guys think about building up a storage of tobacco?
We talked about this.
Yeah. So I definitely have had the experience of putting away a tobacco for a long time, and particularly for Virginias, it really does work magic.
They settle right down, don't they?
They really do. They really mellow out.
Was it the Lou Flake that you had before, and so like you got all these massive crystals and stuff off it? And
you
smoked it for ages. You took it out and smoked it, and it just smelled amazing.
It was,
and I bought some off the back of it. And it's amazing. It's a great smell.
It was Louisiana Flake, which is Gareth Hogarth blend. It's a vapor, quite light on the Perique, but with a chocolate casing. And I left that in a jar for probably about a year, and it crystallized beautifully. I left some full Virginia Flake in the jar for about a year as well. It started off, if you've smoked it before, it's nice when it's young, but it is vinegary, quite sour, and it turned into
cabbies.
But it turned into just like apricot jam in the jar after a year.
Sensational.
Yes, sensational. Sensational. So my answer to that, Matt, is I think it's a good idea, and if you can afford it, I think it's something to consider. Yeah. Jonathan says the Yachtsman Navy plug was originally produced by Murray's. Right, so Murray's originally produced Denote Slavery Rolls, I believe.
Yes.
Produced by Scandinavian Tobacco Group now. A lot of them are. Yeah.
They're pretty solid, aren't they? I mean, they look after blends.
And his kids think the plug smells like Christmas cake. That sounds good. That sounds good.
Do you know what my kids say when they open the tobacco? What's that, Daddy? It's like Daddy's tobacco. Do you want to smell it? Oh, yeah. Ew!
Do they?
Yeah. Good. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Liam says Best Brown. I've only tried Best Brown number 2. So, Best Brown number 2 is the Best Brown, but with an additional casing. It's like a sweet brown sugary kind of casing, which is also lovely. And for me, it's a bit more of a summery smoke. I've actually got a bit in a jar, and now that the sun's coming out, I probably will go back to that. Yeah. Desert Island Blend, Rattray's Old Gowrie. Every bowl I have smoked right into the briar.
Rattray's, and I nearly
got a Rattray's
picked a Rattray's pipe up. Yeah.
You'll have to tell us a little bit about that, Liam, because I haven't smoked any Rattray's.
Scottish, aren't they? Was he Scottish?
German, I think.
German,
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who produces the tobacco. Probably is STG.
Yeah.
But I know that Marlin Flake, I believe it's called Marlin Flake by Rattray's, is quite popular.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, to go back to this, lovely blend.
Yeah.
I've really been enjoying it.
It's a. You're right. It's that play between the Perique and the dark Cavendish.
Yeah.
The Burley's the Burley's great. You know, it gives the solidity, but that Perique and the dark Cavendish, that's great.
Yeah. So in other news, we were gonna have a guest speaker tonight. Turned out he was busy. He's looking after family, so it was a good cause. But we're gonna get my uncle on the show, who I mentioned a couple of times before, lives in Sweden. He's going to talk to us a little bit about snus, because he's a snus fan, which is a very unique Swedish kind of tobacco, like a dipping tobacco, I guess, which comes in like a tiny little pouch. You put it on your tongue or on your lip. So we're going to arrange next time to talk to Uncle Martin in Sweden. He might be watching, I don't know. But
next time.
Yeah, next time.
Hopefully.
And we're still trying to get Sam on the show.
Yeah, we've not given up.
No, yeah.
We'll keep on at him.
Yeah.
We can be very persuasive.
So yeah.
And in terms of the content going forward, we're still going to try and commit to one a week. I think we're kind of getting quite comfortable with it now, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, like Scott said, do it, commit to it for 10 weeks, and it will become second nature.
Yeah,
we'll make time for it.
And it's coming on quite nicely. It's always better when we've got some guys on that we can sort of bounce off and
exactly.
I think that's always helpful. We did say that we're going to try and do the reviews of the Sopranos as we're getting through the seasons.
Absolutely, right. Yeah, that's something we want to do, and other stuff too. We want to talk about other films, stuff we've been reading. We're planning on going camping soon, aren't we? Yeah, we're going camping.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as the weather started picking up, like I said, straight after Pascha, right, let's get the kit looked at and let's go out.
Absolutely.
Let's go take a night out. So yeah, hammocks again. So we did it last time. We went to
absolutely
so good.
Absolutely.
So, sorted you out with one until last time.
Yeah, for my birthday. Yeah.
So good to get that one out and about. But yeah, we went out last year and had a blast. So it'd be good to try and get a little bit filmed, even if we don't do it live, but we can do some. Get a pipe out, get a burn on, get a coffee on, and film a little bit. I think that'd be good.
That's the plan. I mean, it's unlikely that we're going to get good coverage wherever we are to live cast. But what we can do, and I think what the plan is that we're gonna film a pipe cast while we're out there. And by the way, we haven't forgotten about the pipe cast. We are intending to do some more pipe casts where it's not live. It's just me and Dion. But we really enjoy doing this. And for me, I really look forward to this.
Yeah.
It's just so relaxing.
I'll be back in the pub.
Yeah, it is. And, just the way things are, and I hate to use this word, in society, we live in a society. It's just so hard to find, male camaraderie, get together, have a drink, smoke a pipe. And, me and Dean have got each other, thank God. And I really enjoy talking to you guys. I really enjoy it.
It's always good having the guys on, and
it's what makes it. It's what makes it, and it makes it so fun for me. So, Richard joined the chat. Says, have you guys tried any of the GLP's blends? I've recently ordered Bankside and Geometry. Hope they're good. I haven't tried any GLPs. I've heard people talk about it. I know that Geometry just dropped. I think it's a small batch, right? Yeah. It's in English. I haven't tried it, but please join next time and let us know.
Yeah.
Because
where are they based then? GLP, not.
They're American.
Okay.
Yeah. I am looking at trying some Seattle Pipe Club. The plum pudding is really popular.
Yeah.
And that's like an English. I think it's got a bit of Perique in there too. They've also got the Virginia Jazz, which is a vapor, which sounds quite appealing to me.
Do we hear a lot about Boswell's? I keep saying,
yeah.
I'll try and pick a bit up.
Yeah, what about Boswell's? Has anybody got any experience with Boswell's? Because I think like you got recommended it by...
Yeah, it was Ellis Spear on Orthodox Pipe and Pint.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be looking to try... Those are Yankee-sized coffee mugs. We love coffee.
Yeah.
Especially with a pipe.
It's just a duet of pleasures.
Yeah.
Especially when your cafetiere gets smashed.
Oh, man.
So yeah, which is why Harry's got gone for the smart option and had one that not only does it stay warm, but like you know, it doesn't get broken by its nearest and dearest.
Yeah, this is a great buy. Stainless steel, unbreakable, stays really warm, portable for camping. I've got a smaller one that I'll probably take camping.
Yeah.
But it's great for long smoke sessions. Keeps that coffee warm.
See, the other thing as well that we thought about maybe we could do a little bit live was maybe barbecue and fire. Can bring the gilly kettle. We could do one outside.
Yeah, an outside one would be good. Yeah, especially now the weather's getting good.
Yeah, we've both got decent enough garden space. We could get that done, couldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. So some of the guys talking about Rattrays. Rattrays Tower Bridge is amazing. Rattrays is Scottish. Oh,
that's right.
My bad.
Yeah.
You were right. Okay, you were right. Rattrays is
Write it down, man. It doesn't happen often.
He says, although they are manufactured in Germany at the minute.
Right, okay.
So that must be why. Yeah. Albert says, love to stop by with you both. Although I'm across the pond, feel like I'm a part of the smoke club with you all. So thank you for these.
Pleasure.
And Liam says, smoke British. In my opinion. British.
Yeah.
Thank you, Albert. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going for, and like we feel the same way. We love hanging out with you. I mean, speaking for myself, I just look forward to it all.
Yeah, it's great.
So much fun.
Yeah, I've had it on my mind all week. And also, like talking about being over the pond. Like, I keep looking at the guys over in Virginia and in Tennessee. I think, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Jump on a plane, get out into the back country.
Exactly, yeah.
Take your firebox, take a gilly kettle, take a pipe, get a bottle.
The dream.
Oh,
literally the dream.
So good.
Ryan says that Kramer's Father Dempsey is very good. I've heard a lot about Father Dempsey. Seems to be quite popular. I don't know much about it though. Albert says, I'll have to try Rattrays blend soon. Yeah, maybe we'll give them a try too.
Yeah.
Matt says, thanks for the effort you guys put in. Man, we all appreciate you guys. Thank you. And we appreciate you too for joining in.
Yeah.
Because you make these things.
Totally.
Absolutely.
I think that covers us for this week. I think if we've got some more material coming up for next time, we'll get that review maybe for that Sharrow blend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next time.
Smoking that next time. After this, Dean and I are going to retire to the garage.
So basically all that stuff that Frank said, we're just going to rip it up. We're going to do the very opposite.
We're not going to the club.
I hear you, Frank, but you're just wrong. God bless you. But yeah, one thing I did want to touch on that before we wrap is like we're really lucky that we've got such a good tobacco. Well, tobacco. It's a wine merchant officially, isn't it? Yeah. But they do a great range of cigars.
Yeah.
Harry's been upskilling me on my knowledge of cigars because I'd only really had a couple in Cuba. And I said, I can't just keep smoking Cuban cigars. Like, I'm not made of money.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. I'm not tatey yet. So I wanted to know a bit more about New World cigars and like what's good and what's not so good and what am I got to look for and what's the difference. So I picked up an AJ Fernandez New World and on the recommendation of a guy in Mitchell's, and they were great, man. They were really, really helpful. I got some tips from Harry, so I didn't sound like a complete noob. But they were really, really good. So I said, I want to branch my palate out. I want to kind of learn a bit about New World smokes. They were great. They really, really sort of taught me through it. So that's the one for later on tonight.
Yeah. So you're going with the New World.
New World Dorado. Yeah, golden.
Which means golden, obviously. Yeah. named for the soil which it's grown in, which is a special kind of golden coloured soil.
Yeah.
I believe it's also Habano seed, I think.
Yeah.
I am going to go with also an AJ Fernandez, New World, but the Puro Especial, which is a short Churchill, 6 inches long with a 48 ring gauge, and it's a Puro, so it's all Nicaraguan tobacco. I've smoked one of these before, and for me it was like a lot of caramel, a little bit salty, but really delicious.
Yeah.
Nice, like, hour and 45 smoke.
So I heard good construction.
Beautiful
With
construction.
AJs.
Beautiful construction. Nice even burn the whole way through. I think we were thinking about maybe doing a podcast on like how to enjoy a cigar.
Yeah.
If it's of interest to you guys, I know we're like primarily pipe guys. But
I could do with
Yeah.
with some of that knowledge too. So yeah, that'd be good.
yeah. So maybe that's something that we'll do. We are going to smoke those right now.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to some jazz.
Yeah.
Probably Miles Davis.
Birth of the Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of Coltrane.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Cold to Wall.
Cold Wall. I was thinking,
Yeah.
go country. Yeah.
Listen to the new single Evangelina. Thank you for joining, guys. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed it.
God bless, guys. Thank you so much.
By the way, before we go, I should say, I know on the last cast that Anthony of Bourbon Neophyte and the two of us came to the 20th for our live stream. However, I didn't have my dates right, and it's my fault. Can't do the 20th. Spoken to Anthony about it. He couldn't do tonight because he's on holiday. But we're looking for a future date. All three of us are really
We're up for it.
up for it.
Yeah.
We think it's going to be. We've got a lot to learn about bourbon. So yeah, we're all looking forward to that, and we are going to get it in. So stay tuned.
As soon as we
for
can.
that.
Yeah. As soon as we can, we'll
Yeah.
we'll put a post up on the community part, can't we? And let
absolutely.
everybody know. But yeah, that'll be good.
Are we looking at getting one out next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'll be midweek.
Midweeker. Yeah.
It'll be midweek next
Breaks
week.
the week up nicely.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
I'll look at another chapter of the guide.
Yeah.
Probably the cigar one.
I may have finished season 1 of Sopranos
Nice.
as well, so let's do a season 1 round.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good. So that.
Themes and
Yeah.
I'll try and keep it sort of. I know it's like it seems stupid like saying spoilers, but like there's people that like it's like ancient.
20 years old.
Yeah. But I'll try and keep it reasonably spoiler friendly. But yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Excellent. So just to round off with the comments. Matt says definitely start with Tower Bridge, Rattray. Okay. We'll take a look at that. Albert says be well, lads. See you next time. God bless Albert. Thank you for joining in. Matt says I can't remember the exact name, but New World cigar called Bella Mundo was hands down my favourite. So that'll be an AJ Fernandez as well. Yeah, AJ are just knocking it out of the park.
They're winning everything at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful cigars.
Great cigars.
Beautiful, tremendous cigars. Tremendous cigars.
You're gonna love it.
Got a cigar in both hands. Yeah, Plasencia, AJ Fernandez, Arturo Fuentes. There's some names that I'll chuck out for New Worlds if you're interested. Maybe we'll do a bit more cigar content if it's what you're interested in. This is not going to change into a cigar channel. It's always going to be a pipe channel.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a lot of crossover.
Summer coming.
Exactly.
You know.
I'm sure there's a ton of crossover. I'm sure you pipe smokers like an occasional cigar.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll round it off there. Huge thank you for joining in. Huge thank you for the recommendations. It's been a blast.
God bless.
Yeah. God
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.